For some of the audience that doesn't know the whole story, okay, they don't know what really happened with Lindsey Hill. You made a video, okay, and the video was the whole story with what took place, and the texts were out, and you kind of negotiated where you could talk about it for the rest of your career, because that was obviously very important. You even sued her. You came back and sued her. Can you walk the audience through maybe the process of what happened? Events. Here's what happened first. One day I'm doing this. We met here. Here's what took place, and this happened. Whatever information you can give on a process for the audience that doesn't know, and then we can go into some of the other topics.
Yeah, high level. She reached out to me on Instagram. We started talking on Instagram. Eventually, she came over to my house one night. So she lived in San Diego. I was in Pasadena. She drove up to Pasadena, had a nice night together, decided to meet up 3 weeks later. She came back, had a great night. She left, no problems. And then a couple days later, I'm getting texts about I'm in the hospital and what's going on. And she started accusing me of things that did not happen. Eventually, she filed a domestic violence restraining order, basically saying she was, scared or in danger. That's a public filing. So her written version of events went public. The media picked up on it. I was put on administrative leave by MLB, not allowed to pitch. I didn't have any chance at that point to defend myself. We went to family court, I think 6 weeks or so later. We had 4 days there where a judge heard her side of the story. I didn't testify. There was an open investigation, so my lawyers advised me not to say anything. And so the judge heard her side of why she needed a protective order and then denied it, which for those who don't know, that's like the lowest standard in all of the entire justice system, the lowest standard of proof. And the judge threw it out and said that she had misled the court, materially misled the court, and that there was no wrongdoing on my part. Then I think that was in August. I could have the month wrong. It's a long time ago now, but there's an open investigation. Obviously, the allegations against me were very serious, and as they were, they should be investigated to the fullest extent. So as the Pasadena Police Department and I think I don't know exactly what all other entities were involved, but as they investigate it, I was still on administrative leave, so I wasn't able to play for the remainder of the 2021 season. That lasted into spring training time, where I was on administrative leave in 2022. They eventually decided not to press any charges, so I was never arrested, never charged with anything. And then I was, after that, suspended by MLB for originally 2 years. So by the time we went through the process of appeal in December, I believe, of 2022, the suspension was reduced to 194 games, which is the number of games that I'd missed, and then I was cleared to play immediately. I still had 1 year left on my Dodger contract, so in January of 2023, they released me from that, and then I went and played in Japan in 2023, and now we're here. So that's like high-level sequence of events.
Now, text came out about her. Rob, can you prepare that video? Maybe the first 90 seconds would be good for the audience to see. I think this is you actually showing the text. Just play it from the beginning. Go for it.
Next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers. A text Lindsey Hill sent to a friend before she ever even met me. What should I steal? She asked another in reference to visiting my house for the first time. The answer? Take his money. So how might that work? I'm going to his house Wednesday, she said. I already have my hooks in. You know how I roll. Then, after the first time we met, net worth is 51 mil, she said. Bitch, you better secure the bag, was the response. But how was she going to do that? Need daddy to choke me out, she said. Being an absolute whore to try to get in on his 51 million, read another text. Then, after the second time we met, former Padres pitcher Jacob Nix told her, you got to get this bag. I'll give you 50,000, Lindsey replied. Her AA sponsor asked her at one point, do you feel a tiny bit guilty? Not really, she replied. Since then, her legal team has approached me multiple times about coming to a financial settlement. But as I have done since day one, I refuse to pay her even a single cent. In August of 2021, Lindsey Hill's claims were heard in court. And during those legal proceedings, critical information was deliberately and unlawfully concealed from me and my legal team. Information like this video, which was taken by Lindsey Hill herself the morning after she claimed she was brutally attacked, emotionally traumatized, and desperate to get away from me. And now we have the metadata, so there can be no dispute. It was taken mere minutes before she left my house on the morning of May 16th, 2021, without my knowledge or consent, of course. In it, you can see her lying in bed next to me while I'm sleeping, smirking at the camera without a care in the world, or any marks on her face. I think it paints a pretty clear picture of what actually happened the evening of May 15th and why the video was originally concealed from us. After hearing the evidence available to her, Judge Diana Gold-Saltman found that Lindsey Hill had misled the court. She found her claims to be materially misleading. She denied her request for a domestic violence restraining order, and she found that no sexual assault or non-consensual conduct took place. Now, some of you might not know about restraining order hearings. I know I didn't, but I've since learned that it's extremely rare for a request for a restraining order to be denied because the standard of proof that you need to obtain one is extremely low. So you can make of that what you will. The fact is, I was never arrested. I was never charged with a crime, and I won the only legal proceeding that took place without my side of the story even being heard. And most importantly, as I've said from day one, I never sexually assaulted Lindsey Hill, or anyone else for that matter. So I sued her, which prompted her to countersue me. Quite frankly, regardless of the outcome in court, I've paid significantly more in legal fees than Lindsey Hill could ever pay me in her entire life. And I knew that would be the case going in. But the lawsuit was never about the money for me. It was the only way for me to obtain critical information to clear my name. The discovery process in that lawsuit recently concluded, at which point Lindsey Hill's legal team again came to us with another proposal to resolve the case. This time, however, they weren't seeking any money from me. Having received much of the information that had been hidden from us, a small portion of which I've referenced here, I was willing to agree to the terms proposed. Both parties would drop their respective lawsuits, and neither of us would pay either side any money. I also retained my right to speak publicly about the case, something I have not been at liberty to do since June of 2021. So, as of today, both lawsuits have been settled. Now, over the last 2 years, I've been forced to defend my integrity and my reputation in a very public setting. But hopefully this is the last time I have to do so, as I prefer to just remain focused on doing my job, winning baseball games and entertaining fans around the world. So today, I'm happy to be moving on with my life.
How much did it cost you? If you were to put a number to it, last however long it's been. Renewal and contracts, additional things you could do, maybe a World Series win, maybe two. During that time, you were, on a team that had a lot of legs to do a lot of things. What do you think it cost you?
Are you talking future earnings potential as well?
Give me all of it, yeah. During that time and future earnings.
It's during that time, it's mid 8 figures between legal costs, suspension, contract, off-field stuff, endorsements, all that. Lifetime earnings, probably 350 is conservative. I was making $42.5 million a year. At that point, I was 30. So if I decline linearly from 30 to 40 and end up at 40 making 20 million, which would be well below, what guys like Schuster and Verlander are making at 40. Let's just say I declined linearly, then I would have averaged 30,750,000 for 10 years. So that'd be 300 million plus the,
and you were innocent. So $350 million to $400 million, and you were innocent.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.